What's going on, guys? Explosive Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we are going to be showcasing the most powerful thing you can be doing within Season of the Worthy for Destiny 2. And of course, this involves the brand new seasonal mods. Just like within Season of Dawn and the whole Charged with Light mechanic, you could do some insane, you still can do some insane things and come up with some insane builds. But we've got a whole new set of seasonal mods and they are just as busted. So we're going to be going in depth into what exactly these do and how you can make some builds to make the most of this insane new mechanic. And so let's get started. Now I really wish I could have gotten this video out sooner, but I had a bunch of footage stuck on my old computer that blew up, and then we had the issues getting the new one here and all of that stuff. But today we are finally back up and running. So all of the brand new seasonal mods for Season of the Worthy have to do with Warmind cells. It's an interesting new mechanic, new feature, and they behave very differently depending on what mods you have equipped. And how you earn these mods is as follows. Well, you can either level up a bunker, because once you get further in the ranks, you can outright buy a couple of different Warmind cells for each different bunker. For example, the EDZ bunker and the Moon bunker have different mods on offer for sale. So there's 4 in total between those two bunkers, and there'll be more when the next bunker comes out. Now, you can also earn these mods the much easier way for simply completing, like 100%ing Seraph Tower public events. Out of that end Warmind chest, you do have a chance to get mods, and that's the one that cost encrypted Warmind bits. So make sure you have enough of those to farm those public event chests. Now, although different mods can behave quite differently from one another, they all share one similar attribute, and that is defeating a combatant with a 7th Seraph weapon has a chance to drop a Warmind cell. Multiple copies of this mod do not stack. Every single Warmind mod will have that line of text, and that is the basis of triggering Warmind cells. You have to be using a 7th Seraph weapon, which is dropped either from the Warmind bunkers themselves, doing the bounties available there, or the 2 weapons in the seasons past also count as 7th Seraph weapons. So you get a kill as long as you have one of these mods equipped with a 7th Seraph weapon, and as you can see, there's a chance for a red orb to drop. Here's the thing, you shoot the orb, it blows up. That is the basis of this mechanic, and I think a lot of people looked at that and went, well, that's pretty gimmicky. I've got to use often a subpar weapon, like, you know, we're not talking about the Recluse here in terms of power level. There's some decent rolls, but not necessarily unbelievably powerful rolls, and then you get a little bit of a extra explosion. It's kind of like a Firefly that you got to work more for, right? Well, no. The thing is, these Warmind cells, especially when accompanied by more and more mods, can do just bonkers things, and I don't think people realize just how powerful Warmind cells can really be. Let's check it out in the menagerie here, because it's really the radius and the damage that blows these things out of the water when it comes to power potential. So, I kill an enemy, I get a Warmind cell, I shoot it, and as you can see, it kills all nearby enemies, even the 2 yellow bars, and if we look at the more powerful yellow bars, I mean, half their health is gone. And that, for a thing I had to shoot a few times, basically, I killed a red bar, essentially, in that Warmind cell. It blew up, and I did half damage to the yellow bars all the way over there, but range is not really illustrated in that example. So you can see this ogre all the way in the distance, and the Warmind cell is, oh my goodness, 50, 60 feet away. I shoot the Warmind cell, as you can see, I damage the ogre, like up the stairs, way off to the side. And it is a radius, right? So that is circular. Everything in that massive circle is being hit for a considerable amount of damage. Again, it's going to instantly kill any red bar within that massive radius. So if you're in any scenario where you're being overwhelmed by ads, you're being charged by thralls, for example, they're all dead, all of them. And basic yellow bars, all dead. Majors, like big yellow bars with multi-tiered health, they're half dead. So you shoot 2 Warmind cells, they're dead. And the best part, it does enough damage that they're all stunned. so you can easily mop up any hurt enemies that you hit with those Warmind cells. So, at a base level, already worth running. Like, if you just have one of these Warmind mods equipped to a piece of armor, and you have one 7th Seraph weapon, and honestly, probably the easiest one to use is going to be the Seasons Pass shotgun. It's just so easy to get kills with it. It's a shotgun. It has some pretty decent rolls as well, and then one shot from the shotgun blows up the Warmind cell. So it kind of works perfectly. Shoot a guy, get a Warmind cell, shoot the Warmind cell, kill 12 enemies nearby. Like, it works out very easily, and just those two things, a 7th Seraph weapon and one mod to get this thing rolling, is worth throwing into a lot of your builds for any sort of PvE activity. But things get really insane when we start combining different mods, because although they all have that same base effect, what they do is they actually affect the Warmind cells themselves differently, and sometimes they affect how you get these Warmind cells. So, if we look right here, this is my current Warmind cell build. We start things off with burning cells. Destroying a Warmind cell creates a burst of solar energy that causes enemies to burn for several seconds. So it's just more damage on top of that explosion. They're also going to get a burning effect. And of course, I've got that first mod, so I've got all 3 Warmind weapons. I've got the 7th Seraph Carbine with 4 times the charm Rampage. I think that's a very powerful roll. I've got the shotgun with Trench Barrel and Quick Draw. Great roll there. And then I've got the 7th Seraph Saw machine gun. I was lucky enough to get it with firing line. Now you may be thinking, how the heck did you get the machine gun? It's not even available to get the bounties for yet because that 3rd and final bunker isn't available yet. Well, if you're level 92 in the Seasons Pass, you get this perk, which is going to allow you to buy the daily rotating weapons from the bunkers. And lucky enough, today actually, it was the Saw, and I just bought that outright. So if you can level up your Seasons Pass enough, you can have once a day, you can have a crack at some of the currently unavailable 7th Seraph weapons. In any event, going back to the mods, a really easy one that's super cheap is Global Reach. Warmind cells you create affect and damage targets at a greater distance. Only 1 energy, and it doesn't have an energy requirement. This is one of the best mods to get you rolling. Like, pair that with any 7th Seraph weapon, again, you're good to go. But that's not all. We're also going to be using, importantly, Rage of the Warmind. Adds additional solar damage to the explosions of Warmind cells you destroy. So we have 2 different solar effects, this and the burning effect we looked at earlier. This pairs really well with one of the newer mods you can get from the Moon Public event, Wrath of Rasputin. Solar splash damage final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. So, we're adding solar damage, we're adding a burning effect. If either of those things actually kills an enemy, that enemy has a chance to create another Warmind cell, and you will see that in the background gameplay. You can just start chaining cells by blowing up one, it creates another one. You blow up that one, it creates another one, and you don't have to actually shoot enemies, you're just shooting cell to cell to cell, and that is really, really, really powerful. But of course, with all of that stuff, we're still at the mercy of just randomly getting Warmind cells for getting kills with the weapons. It seems like you get a kill, and once you spawn a Warmind cell, there's a certain period of time where you can't spawn another one, and then it becomes available to do. So, how we get around that is one of the brand new seasonal mods, Tyrant's Surge. Dealing damage with arc melee, super, and grenade abilities spawns a Warmind cell, and this is nearly a 100% chance. So what we're doing here, and why I'm playing a Titan, is because we can pair that with the Bottom Tree Striker. Due to the perk Knockout, where critically wounding an enemy or breaking their shield increases your melee range and damage. And while Knockout is active, you don't have to have a charged melee, but every single melee will have the animation of you punching them with an electric fist, and all of those punches are going to be arc. Like, it counts as arc melee kills, and that means you just kill one enemy, one drag with a melee, and then every other melee kill after that counts as an arc melee and is 90% of the time going to spawn a Warmind cell. And you can just really get things rolling. As soon as you get that easy cell, shoot it, probably spawn another one because of the solar damage synergy, shoot that, and you can just roll through. certain activities. Like in the background, I'm playing some Lost Sectors, I'm doing a forge and so on. I don't think I've ever had an easier forge with this setup. Like honestly, I'm just in where the enemies spawn. They spawn, I trigger a Warmind Cell, shoot it. Every enemy nearby that's possibly going to be able to shoot at me is dead, and I'm just throwing balls after that. Like, I'm spawn trapping the enemies. It's so efficient at clearing out those guys. And because of that, this build is actually super effective to run in the Seraph Tower events. The entire point of those is to keep enemies outside of those little Seraph Tower things. And if you have these massive explosions where you kill one enemy dropping from the spawn ship, and then you blow up a Warmind Cell and kill all the other enemies within that spawn and massively wound the one powerful enemy, just finish that guy off super easily. Like, it is so easy to just chain those Warmind Cells, destroy every enemy off spawn in Seraph Tower events, and just really easily start farming those for even more Warmind Cells. But the coolest part is that this is just my take on a super aggressive, offensive Warmind Cell build. Actually, the ARC mods have to do with picking up the Warmind Cells and gaining bonuses for yourself. I'm really interested to experiment with builds more involving that. Also, keep in mind that I have no exotics with this build because I'm just trying to maximize on the Warmind perks. You can easily replace one of those perks and put in an exotic. The Synthoceps, for example, for the Titan, extending your melee range and giving you more super damage because of biotic enhancements. I mean, that is a pretty powerful ability too to have with this build. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you guys try this build out. It is a ton of fun and it plays very differently from other Destiny playstyles. If you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at @RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.